My grandma used to tell me, don't make promises you can't keep. Bad news, Granny, I've made promises, I can't keep them. The good news is that in making these promises, I have been able to sign some rather good players. The bad news is they're anticipating improvements to the training facilities. And, well, I made a board request to improve them, and it got turned down by Mark. I mean, if anything, it's the board's fault, right? Yes, folks, how is it going? Welcome back to Park to Prem here with Guernsey. Today is episode number 2. Today, a live com double header. We are going to be taking on a Leatherhead side, currently in 3rd, and after that, we take on Uxbridge, who are in 7th, who are chasing down the playoffs. And well, maybe, dare I say, by the end of the season, we could be chasing down the playoffs. Now, the reason I say that is because we are currently in 14th. The media prediction, though, was a top 4 finish going into this season, and we've added some good players, and since we were last here, we've played 2, we've won 2. Now, the first of these games was against bottom of the league Westfield, a game that we should be winning by all accounts, and well, good news, Canna got us off to the perfect little start. The Portuguese centre attacking mid, a player who, because of Brexit, I'm not even sure if he's going to be able to get a work permit at the end of the season to stay here. He got on the score sheet. Bad news, they got a goal back. And, well, it was 1-1 at half-time against the team who are bottom. So you can imagine how I was feeling. I wasn't feeling too great. We made a couple of changes, and off the back of it, well, things started to click. And, well, Forbes started to score. Of course, he scored a goal of the season contender in the live commentary last time out, and he kept his form going on here. Got an assist here for Canha, and if I'm not mistaken, he also got the 4th. Tobin out on that far side. He's a wing-back who can't put in a cross, but I'll tell you what he can do. He can pass it to his leg, and well, Forbes, as we saw last episode, can score with his head. 4-1 it finished. A good little win. A deserved little win. The other game played since we were last here was against South Park. Now, that's not the place in America that's the TV series about it. No, it's a park in the South. I actually don't know where it is. I've done some investigative journalism. South Park isn't a place called South Park. It's part of Reigate, apparently. If you're wondering where that is in the world, it's near Redhill. It's south of London. It's quite a long way, isn't it, from Guernsey? Where is our stadium? I've not actually checked. So our stadium at Foots Lane, it's here. It's right in the middle of Guernsey, incidentally. Can we go on Street View? Is there really no Street View in Guernsey? Can we go on a drone? I'm in a conservatory. I'm lost. This can't go in the video, can it? Small tangents aside, we beat South Park. Forbes was very involved again. He got another goal to his name. This man is the 3rd highest goal scorer in the league. I really need to sign him. Unfortunately, he is still on £100 a week at Weymouth. I mean, his contract expires at Weymouth. Maybe we can just sign him on a free transfer. And well, speaking of transfers, shall we talk about some? Because we've made some free transfers since you were last here. It is the 14th of January. We've only had 3 games in the last month. Today's doubleheader is a week apart. And well, because we've had so much time, I've been able to do a little bit, I was going to say, of wheeling and dealing. I mean, it's not really been wheeling and dealing. It's been asking the director of football for signing suggestions, then buying those players. Last episode, of course, we identified the defence as a bit of a weakness. We've added a few new players in this area of the pitch. The first, Ellis Johnson, 20 years old, formerly played for Exeter's Academy. He's 20, he's good. He's not great, but he's definitely an upgrade on what we had before. And just to put it in a little bit of context, if I compare him to Frank Tobin, who started the last episode for us, you can see here. The 20-year-old, definitely an upgrade. Another player we picked up is Patrick Grooms. This man, a deep line playmaker, someone who's really going to fit into our team philosophy, and is going to be a man who can sit deep and just spread balls here, there, and everywhere. 11 passing, 15 vision. Really like the look of this guy a lot. Super consistent performer. One minor concern is his composure. We picked him up from Stirling Uni. Does that mean he stopped going to university to play for us? The third of the new additions is Eli Phipps. This man, a Welshman, a slightly different attacking option for us. We had 3 attacking options in the team in terms of strikers. I wanted a 4th. This man has something the others didn't have. Now, of course, we have the likes of Tyler Forbes, who is a very, very quick player with some good determination. Fazakli, again, falls into this similar mould. Quick striker, okay determination, not the best of the mentals. And again, Robbie Legg, more of the same. So these are the 3 strikes I've got. I think Phipps, he's got a little bit more about him. He's got some really good mentals, good teamwork, good work rate, good stamina as well, really. And I think within our system, where we play with a pressing forward, he is going to fit quite nicely in here. Now, for the 3 players I've just shown, I actually got them recommended to me by my director of football. This is something that if you're doing a lower league save like me, I recommend doing. If you go to the transfers tab, then director of football, suggest transfer target. From here, you can pick any position and either for transfer or free transfer, ask your director of football, or if you don't have a director of football like me, it just designates it to another staff. In my case, the assistant manager, and they will suggest players to you. And the interesting thing about this is some of the players that they recommend are way beyond your actual scouting range. And from here, you can potentially offer these players trials if you think they're any good, or of course, just ignore them if you think they're not so good. They've recommended a random Dutch player here. Is it just me or is he quite good? You know what? Bosma, gonna give him a trial. Why not? Now, I don't want to hype up the 4th and final player here too much, but this could be the first great player of the save game, and I'm a bit scared we're going to lose him, and it's going to be a heartbreaking breakup when it happens. Let me introduce you to Scott Williams. This man is a 16-year-old Welsh regen. He was playing for Barry in Wales, in the 2nd tier of Wales, might I add. We've signed him on a free. He is our best player. He is ridiculous. Now, I'll tell you now, he wasn't a suggestion by my director of football. He was a byproduct of just looking through national youth teams. As you can see here, I've been looking through the Welsh under-18s. Of course, this is where we picked up our man Scott Williams from. He is here. But elsewhere, there's some other really good Welsh players that I've actually sent scouts to look at who, well, right now, players like Tom Thomas, very imaginative parents he had with the naming. Great player, doesn't want to join me right now. But of all these players that we scouted and had a look at, of which some of them look very, very good, might I add, Scott Williams actually wanted to talk to me. So that was a pleasant surprise. He was also listed as one of the key players in the league. And especially when you're a lower league team starting out, one thing I definitely recommend doing is going to competitions that you have loaded, looking through the Media Dream 11. And if you're in the first few seasons, if you see regens in the Media Dream 11, like Ellis Vaughan here, there's a reasonable chance he is quite good. He is quite good, isn't he? I'm gonna scout him as well. We'll have to pay £375 to scout him, but if we could snap him up, he'd be a good addition. But anyway, that is some of the early recruitment we've been doing here. Scott Williams is next level. Genuinely think he could be a player who is with us from beginning to end. That's certainly my hopes and dreams. He has signed a 2.5-year deal. It is for not insignificant money, £80 a week. That will kick in once he turns 17. He's here for the next 2.5 years, and hopefully a whole lot longer. So right now, if we look at the league table, we are in 14th place. We are 10 points away from the playoffs with 18 games remaining. And maybe I'm getting a tad carried away, but having won 3 games on the bounce and having also had a pre-season prediction of 4th place, I want to try and chase down the playoffs this year. There's plenty of time to do it. There's still I'm about to say over half the season. That's not technically true. There's still half a season left to try and chase teams down. And with Tyler Forbes, you can see here, the 3rd highest goal scorer in the league, I want to believe we've got a chance. Now, we are going to have a really good test today in Leatherhead. The 2 games I played against South Park and also Westfield, their team's down in the relegation zone, right down at the bottom of the table. Not really true tests. And having, well, maybe got a bit lucky on our debut, today we're going to be tested a little bit more. This is the team for today's game against Leatherhead. The first of 2, of course. Worth noting, Johnson making his debut, Williams making his debut, Grooms, who quit university, he's going to be that creative force in the midfield. On the bench, Phipps is there. All eyes on Forbes, all eyes on Canha. Can we keep this great start going? Okay, let's see how we get on today. You might have spotted it. Williams, the new centre-back from Wales. He's playing at right-back for us. He's our best centre-back and our best right-back. I feel like he can have more of an impact over there. And, well, don't be deceived. A team in green has scored. We're away. Leatherhead playing green. We're a goal down. Having won the first 2 games, well, first 3 games on the bounce, I suppose, confidence was high. 2 minutes in, maybe a reality check. No one reacted to the rebound. Leatherhead take the lead. It's pouring it down with rain. I'm not having a good time. Early on in this game, Leatherhead have been completely in control, and well, it could get bad here. It almost was bad. They've hit the woodwork. It's gone over. First 20 minutes here have not been good. You can see just looking at the average positions, we've been penned back so much, and well, regrettably, Leatherhead again putting the ball into a dangerous area. Can we deal with this? Matt Loring heads it away, but it's not dealt with enough. And well, German. They have a man called German. I wonder, is he German? If he's not, then fraud. He's not German. He's from Granada. He's getting paid £275 a week by Leatherhead. That is so much money for this league. That is like almost 3 times more than anyone at our team. It's not been a great start. We conceded from 1 free kick. Good news, the rain has stopped. Now we just have to deal with the free kick, and they've hit the woodwork. They've hit the crossbar 3 times in this game. Now, I don't want to be too reactionary in this game, but they are playing a 4-4-2, and they are just, well, dealing with us in the wider areas. I think we need to defend wider, so I'm going to move Matt Loring in at left mid, which he can play. There is a minor issue here. I don't have anyone who can play right mid, but you know what? Can her... Yeah, he might not know anything about playing right mid, and he might not be able to dribble or cross, but he's quick, he's got good determination, and I think for the good of the team, he's going to have to slot in on the right wing. I might be panicking, I might be overreacting, they are battering us. They could be 4-0 up after 28 minutes. I am also just going to tell the players not to play it through the middle. Let's pass it a little bit shorter when we do have the ball, lower the tempo, and out of possession, trap them inside. Let's try and force them into the middle and cause them issues there. Of course, with 30 minutes gone, could be a bit reactionary to change things so much, but considering how many highlights they were having, we've got to do something. And well, good news, as the time trickles away, is it going to get to half-time at 1-0? It is going to get to half-time at 1-0. I'll level with you. We've been awful there. I'm going to ask the players, what was that? Oh, gosh. Callum Rose is upset. He's crying. Do I sub him off? He's on a yellow card. He's crying after my team talk. I've lost faith in him. Frankie Tobin, on you come. We've got the Tobin brothers in the defence. We're a goal down. We can still turn this around. I mean, if you ignore the XG, we've had more shots than them. We've definitely grown into this game more when I've actually changed things. Of course, it'd be right on cue now if Leatherhead do end up scoring a second, although we're dealing with it initially, and then Frank Tobin, who I've subbed on, has given away a penalty. Why did I sub him on? Leatherhead have a penalty. Tarpe's going to have it. Frank, you were meant to be the chosen one. Oh, my word, Kelly's the chosen one. Get it away. We can still win this. But I don't know if I believe in it. You know what? It's time to get shouty. It always works 90% of the time. Shout some encouragement. I've not been happy with Fazakli today. I'm going to take him off and I'm going to bring in Phipps, the Welshman, the new signing. He had an appearance off the bench in our last game. Didn't do anything. Maybe with the camera on him, maybe in the episode, he can make magic. I would just like to have one highlight that goes in our favour. Leatherhead have battered us in this game. It has been absolutely awful, but we're still in it. You've got to be in it to win it. And while Loring is going to give it back to Grooms. He gives it to Johnson. All the new signings linking up. Look at that, Johnson and Grooms. They're making it work wonderfully. Grooms, of course, playing that deep line playmaker role. Ball played now to Tobin. Loring dinks it. Phipps. I was about to say that's his moment. It wasn't his moment. He didn't even run to get on the end of it. I hope that wasn't him running at full speed. It might well have been. Now they're on the attack. They've got Alassani. He hits it. Kelly collects. Right, I've got one sub left. Canner apparently is in danger of losing his head. I'm going to bring in Marn here out on the right-hand side and see what he can do for us. 4 minutes left. Still 1-0. Anything could happen. They could get a second. They have got a second. It's probably game over. You know what? Given how that game started, I don't think a 2-0 defeat is the worst result in the world. I do question whether or not we're going to be able to play the 4-3-1-2 for the foreseeable future. I do feel like a 4-4-2 gives you just more of a solid base at this level. The issue being is I don't really have enough depth in the wide areas to do that this season. I mean, if we look at the XG story, things definitely did get better after we made a tactical change. Obviously, a big spike in XG here when they had their penalty. But besides that, I actually think we played okay with the 4-4-2. All that talk of making it into the playoffs and now suddenly we're just 2 points above the drop. Maybe I should be looking over my shoulder rather than staring up at the top of the table. I didn't realise this. Fazakli has not scored in 10 hours of competitive football. William, he's got 3 finishing. Should we be surprised he's not scored in 10 hours? Next game, Phipps is starting as the pressing forward. I've decided that now. So Bosma, who we offered a trial to, he has agreed to that. Also, Jeremiah Medine is a player who I think I'm going to sign. He's 19, he is injury prone, he is inconsistent. We don't really have enough defensive midfielders. You might have spotted it. I have De La Mare, who is not a bad player by any means at 28 years old, but there's a lot of interest in him from elsewhere. He's currently on £75 a week to sit on the bench, which in our team is quite a lot of money. Jeremiah, by comparison, £25 a week. And if we compare the two, Jeremiah, I'd argue, is maybe even a little bit better. I am going to delay this one just in case the De La Mare deal doesn't go through. I have offered him out. There were lots of teams interested in him, as you can see here. If I don't get a move for him, and he doesn't accept any of these, I am going to be annoyed. So our next game is against Uxbridge. It is going to be at home. They have lost their last 2 games. Let's see if we can give them a 3rd defeat in a row. Good news, everyone. De La Mare has left the building. We managed to get him off the books. He's headed over to Belgium. He was on £75 a week. He's now on £450 a week. And with his departure, I've confirmed the signing of Medine. He was in on trial. Of course, we offered a trial, you might remember, to Bosma. And, well, he's okay. I mean, he's got really good current ability, but terrible in important matches, injury prone, inconsistent. It's like the holy trinity of bad things. So you know what? I'm going to put him in the place where I don't look, the under-21 squad. Now, you might have noticed some players missing from the senior team when I looked at it a second ago. I demoted all the old players that I have no intention of playing. Board accepted our request to add an under-21s team this last month, just gone, and it's now just become a retirement home, at least for now. Somewhere I can just stick players I don't want to look at. We actually currently don't have a youth team. It's now been established. We've got our first youth intake on the horizon, so watch out. In April, we apparently are going to have an excellent intake. I can't wait for it all to be rubbish. I think these grades are all relative to the current youth team. We have no players in the youth team currently, so of course, every single category is an A. Now, despite Leatherhead absolutely dominating us, I am going to stick with the 4-3-1-2. Phipps comes into the team. Besides that, no other changes. Fingers crossed, we can have a better performance in this game at home. Okay, let's get into this game against Uxbridge. The fans expect the win. The board expect the win as well. And as the home team, despite the fact they're in 7th, I want to see a better performance. And well, could we get off to the best possible start? I thought Forbes was about to add another goal to his collection. Unfortunately, he does head over. Corner for Uxbridge here. I do want to keep an eye on how we do against teams that play a 4-4-2. I do feel like Leatherhead just had more quality than us, truth be told. However, we've got some defending to do here as Witham skips past his man, and there's carnage in the box, and Ryan J. Malbon has scored. How did that go in? I said it last episode, I'll say it again today. You see stuff playing at this level in Football Manager, you just don't see it at any other level. I don't know what Rose is doing, I don't know what Johnson's doing, all I know is that is their first or second shot on target, and it's ended up in the back of the net. We need a response, Tobin. That is not the response to give. What is Tobin's crossing? I want to check. To be fair to him, he does have 4 crossing, he does however have 1 free kick taking. I think we saw that there. Lawler has the ball here for Uxbridge. What is he going to do? I'll tell you what he's going to do. He's going to launch it long towards Kirby. It hits him on the back of the head. He takes it down perfectly. He skips past our man. And he scores. I mean, they say Route 1 football is dead. No, it is not. There's some people who view a goal like this, and this is like the greatest thing you've ever seen. This just awakens something in you. For me, I mean, it just upsets me. Kirby takes it down off the back of his head and then scores at the near post. It's 2-0 Uxbridge. Are we just bad now? I can't help but think that that spiel I gave at the start of the episode about chasing the playoffs might have been a bit of delusion. Maybe 3 wins in a row had gone to my head, although there's time to come back, and there's time for Matt Loring to grab his 2nd goal of the season, grab our first of the game, and there's still 1 goal in it. There's still an hour left to play. Ball was dinked in. Forbes got there and headed it inside. Canher laid it back, and then Loring gets onto it, squeezes it in off the post, cool as you like, and suddenly we're back in it. I thought we were going to get in at half-time at 2-1. We might have some defending to do here as Stanley tries to put the ball in, and then Gorvan ducks and blocks it. It falls to Kirby. It's blocked. Kelly has it. There's just chaos today. Half-time in this game, 2-1 down. I feel like Uxbridge had that flurry of chances, including that kind of mad goal line scramble that led to their goal. Besides that, it's been kind of an even game. There is always the temptation to throw a water bottle, but you know what? I'm a pump fists kind of guy. We're better than this. We all know it. Show them it in the second half. Well, I got motivated. No one on the pitch did. I'm going to try and rectify the pump fist disaster with just a shout of encouragement. Come on, lads. Green, happy, smiley faces. Let's turn this around. Oh my word, they nearly scored a free kick. I'm not going to throw any individuals under the bus, but with 15 minutes played of this second half, Phipps, the new signing, has been rubbish. You know what? Robbie Legg, on you come, son. Elsewhere, Grooms is not the best of performances. We're going to give Medine a debut, playing as that central deep line playmaking player, I think, for us. Been a close game so far. We've not really created enough, but we have a set piece here. Loring, the goal scorer, crosses it in, and I'll tell you what, I thought for a second we were about to score. That header hits the crossbar. Free kick in a dangerous area. Loring, the goal scorer, is over it. He's got a wonderful left foot. Now he's going to show us it. Look at this. It's floated in towards Rose. The centre-back keeps it alive, plays it in, leg the sub, kicks it against the defender, but it's not away from danger. Medin's there, gives it to Canher, who's going to cut inside. Have a go, son! Oh my word, I thought he was actually about to score. It's gone wide. Asobu with the ball, launches it clear, and Rose, are you okay? Rose? I feel like I'm on the Titanic. We've got it away from danger. What's happening? They've hit the crossbar. Now there's another highlight. What happened there? Why did Rose get scared of the ball? Slightly concerning, but let's ignore it. We're on the attack. Leg. I'll tell you what, this is action-packed, isn't it? Maloney gets the tackle in and clears it away. Rose this time doesn't run away from the ball. It's now with Loring. Medin, Williams. He's on a yellow card, the 16-year-old, but I'm going to trust him. I've bigged him up today. Do something magical. He floats it towards leg, and that is the worst header I've seen all game. Don't take your seats. It's not over. Kimball with the throw-in. Whipped in towards Kirby. He jumps for the header, misses it. We clear it away, but not really a million miles away from danger. It's still 2-1 here. There's not been a goal in the second half, but there's been so many chances. There could be one here. Forbes is bringing it forward. He's got one option inside. He could go all on his lonesome. He goes down in a heap. It falls to Canner, and it's 2-1 here. And I don't know what's happened. I don't know how we're back in this. It's 2-2. These are always my favourite years of Park to Prem, the first few seasons. Weird stuff happens. Canner's arriving. Forbes is on a heap, still appealing for the penalty. Suddenly, he's cured. He looked like he was injured on the floor. It's a Christmas miracle. He's fine. It's 2-2. Is anything else going to happen? No. You know what? I'll take 2-2 after that. I feel exhausted. If we look at the numbers, we should have won that. Trust the process. Look at that. Everyone trusts the process. I trust the process. Do you trust the process? Answers on a postcard. I need to remember to breathe. With that point there, we do actually climb up to 14th, so not the worst performance in the world. Just been brought to my attention, that sub-appearance for Medin was his first ever appearance as a footballer. I have also just got the scout report back for Ellis Vaughan. Apparently I should sign him as a priority. Apparently this 16-year-old is very good. Can I make an offer? I can. I'm going to finalise it and hit continue. Does he want to talk to me? Maybe. Should I sign? I probably should sign this guy, shouldn't I? Ellis Vaughan. He is very good. I mean, I'm a little bit concerned about Canher not getting a work permit, and I'm sat thinking, Vaughan, he could be the next Canher. In fact, he's probably already better than Canher, and he's 16. Now, to be fair, Cambrian and Clydach Vale Boys and Girls Club, very well known for producing great footballers. In fact, Ellis Vaughan is listed as their key player. How much does he want a week? I've got to promise the training facilities improvement again. How many players do I promise this to before it all comes crumbling down? You know what? I can worry about that later. He wants £130. I don't want to give him that much. I'll give you £90, but a bigger appearance fee. How does that sound? He doesn't want a long deal. £100, 2 years. I want you here for the long haul. He doesn't want to stay here for long. £100, 2 years. Just, I'm going to lock them in. Sign the dotted line. He hates me. Get rid of the yearly wage rise. Can we make it happen? We can. Am I signing this guy? I mean, it's not often I find a player during an episode. Ellis Vaughan, I kind of want to buy now. Well, a productive episode, even if we haven't won a game. We've had fun, right? You know what? After that, I need to go have a lie down, get a glass of water, and just try and lower my heart rate a little. It's been an intense episode today. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed it a ton. We will be back tomorrow, so I hope you guys are excited for it. If you've enjoyed today's episode, do drop a like on it. Besides that, have a lovely rest of your day. I'll see you for Thursday, where hopefully, well, Vaughan will have signed for us, and I'll still be maybe trying to convince myself we're going to make the playoffs. I'll talk to you then.